Good evening and welcome to Facebook Live to Throwback Thursday number 2. Let me just refresh my computer. Oh, right, that's worked. Let's just hope somebody joins me. Whoops. I have a complete new setup. I am upstairs. Please excuse all these pictures here. I will remember to do something about that next time. I'm up in what used to be Owen's bedroom, which is now going to be my creative room, and I'm very lucky. I have a new desk that Merv has bought me for my birthday, which is a rise and fall desk, so I can stand and demo, which is what I've wanted to do for a long time. So I'm very grateful, but this is the first live from here. I hope that you can hear me all okay. And oh wow, you're in Jamaica. I know where I'd rather be. Have a wonderful time. Why are you watching this? But thank you. Yeah, so evening everybody, and thank you for joining me. I've actually missed everybody's name coming up, other than I just caught Andrine's there when she said, but it was probably the Jamaica bit. Okay, so I'm not going to say hello to everyone. I'll just say hello generally to everybody. So, and thank you so much for joining me. So just make sure there wasn't any other questions or anything. Oops, then it all jumps. Yeah, that's the beauty of being able to catch up or watch live, whatever you want to do. So I'm hoping if I put my computer there, it'll be okay. All right, so for this week's Throwback Thursday, I'm going to be using my Fresh Floral's Heart stamp, which is quite an old. It's back to 2020. I couldn't believe that. I've got my folder out. Oh, it's going to be back to front. I'll spin the camera so that you can see it. But I have combined it with my With Love and More stamp set. So it's one of the lovely bold sentiments. So somebody asked me last time when I did one where they were available from. And I know that Hazel and Paul at Dragon's Papercraft have them. And I think I did check. If you bear with me a minute, I will just check while we're on here. But I think it was Luby Crafts have them as well, because I actually went through, after I decided what I was going to do, I went and looked everywhere to find who had them. And yeah, not a lot of people have it. So if you do want it, Hazel and Paul definitely have it. And bear with me while I just flick through and see. Is that moving? Yes, it is, right. I don't go too quick because I don't want to miss it. Oh, I don't think it had an image, if I'm right. But I'm sure it was in stock. So if I can't find it in a second, I will find out after the live and put a link up. But like I say, I know that Hazel and Paul have it. Oh look, recently viewed products. Yes, so they do have it as well. So it is Hazel or Luby Crafts and the people that I have checked out. And I did check out most people that are listed as stockists for you. So I'm going to flip the camera and make a start. So bear with me, and I hope there's nothing over there you're not meant to see. I don't think so. I think I've hidden it quite well. Oops, no, I don't want to reduce the noise. That's better. Okay, so I'm hoping I can get a good angle for you. So great, now my computer's decided didn't like that, so let me refresh it so I can see what you can see. Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, so we have the Fresh Florals collection, which obviously has fresh florals and the dies. Still have these, and I have plans for this actually for the next one, but we will see. And then there was a border set, and then there was the lovely heart, and you get a couple of other flowers, and you get some sentiments. You get a Mr. and Mrs., an ampersand, and to a special couple with little hearts either side. So I'm going to be using those, and I'm going to be using it with my With Love stamp set as well. I haven't got anything finished samples to show you because I'm actually going to make something start to finish. So I did find, the reason I've done this is because I found when I was tidying up some bits and pieces that were already done. I mean, how beautiful is that? So it's actually heat embossed with platinum, of course, my favourite, and coloured using clean colour markers. So I'm going to do a little bit of embossing, and I'm going to show you about making a fancy fold card. So this is what I found in my stash. So I've scored the card, so it's a piece of 15 by 30, so it would have been a 6 by 6 card if you'd have folded it in the middle, but I have scored at probably 7.5, yes, so 7.5 from each end, and that gives me a nice gatefold card. I've then drawn round my heart. Obviously once I've stamped it and embossed it, I cut it out, and I've drawn round it onto the either side of the gatefold, and I've cut 1/2 away at the moment. So I've left the pencil marks there so you can see, and all you would do is, well, in fact, let's do it. Let's get my scissors. You can do this with scissors, or you could do it with a craft knife. I'm hoping that the light isn't too bad. I think that might be better. I forgot to move it, so sorry about that. Hoping that's a bit better. So just with my scissors, but you could do it with a craft knife if you wanted to. And I'm just going to follow the lines that I've penciled in. Oh, I need to do it with the craft knife. Bear with me while I move these bits out of the way. Let's get all the bits. That's the stamp set, so I don't need those. So I'll be giving those away. So if you don't have them, then it's a chance of owning them. Okay, so I'm going to use my craft knife to finish this off, just because I'm not very good at cutting around the curve, and I know I will do a better job with my craft knife. So literally, especially onto the glass mat as well, because it's a really nice surface to actually cut onto with a knife. And I probably should have made sure I had a nice new blade, but let's just go round again. There we go, almost there now. It's because I've used, this was actually done on a piece of, I think this is Dragon's card from, this is like going back to 2020, remember? So that is the other half of my heart cut out. And I'm just going to get a rubber and just go around the edge of the heart and make sure if I've left any pencil line on there, then it'll be gone. Okay, so we have our card blank. I'm going to place my heart on the inside, but I am going to stamp this and heat emboss it because I want you to see how beautiful it is. And then I'm also going to heat stamp and heat emboss some flowers, and I will stamp those and cut those out. So I have a piece of card which I'm just going to cut in half actually. And let me just cut that down. It's a lot more manageable now for me putting it into my press and everything. So I'm going to place that in, and with my heart, let's take this out and we'll place that down, and I'm going to have a few of the flowers as well. And I did use a few of these little flowers which was in the border one, but I know I've done lots of sets that will have little flowers in, so you could always take a little daisy from one of those. Okay, so wiping my card with my anti-static bag, going to use my Wow embossing ink pad, of course, and just tap gently over the top, making sure I'm going to cover everything. I'll need to do a couple more flowers because I need more than 2, but I only need 1 heart. Now, I haven't done any embossing or anything on this desk with it up high. Well, I haven't done any embossing actually, so it's all a learning curve. And when I know what I haven't got, I don't know what I did with that. See, I've moved everything from downstairs to upstairs. I'll just use a piece of card. I don't know what I've done with my folded piece that I usually use to catch my embossing. Okay, so, and I'm so low on platinum embossing powder. I can feel a purchase of a pot coming on. I don't know if they do it in a big pot. If they don't, they should. Maybe I could ask them. Please, can I have a big pot of platinum? Oh, it's my favourite powder. Okay, so everything's covered beautifully. I have my heat tool, which isn't switched on. Bear with me a minute. Actually, let's be good and put this powder back in the pot. Okay. And let's switch my heat tool on. Right, okay. Oh, look, I've knocked it. Ah, let's try. I mean, I'm not going to use this one. This is just to show you how beautiful it embosses. Oh, that's a bit of luck. Look at that. Perfect. It's okay still. Good. Because it'd be nice to actually try and do something with it because it's so beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to put my heat tool on, get that heated up, and then I will take it to my stamping. I will do it from the top, but would highly recommend heating from underneath because you do get a much nicer, smoother finish. But I can't get the camera far enough away. But as it goes raised and shiny, you can just move the heat tool over the design. Systematically working over the design so you don't miss any bits. And then as soon as it's heated up, take it away and we'll heat the flowers. You don't want to overheat it because that's when it will start to go flat and waxy looking. And you also don't want to have the heat tool too close. A good idea just to have a little check, make sure that everything is nicely heated up. Oh, it is showing up beautifully, isn't it? Okay, so I need a couple more flowers. So I will put my card back in. I'm going to take my heart off because I don't need that anymore now. And I'm going to move my flowers. I know I'm not being very economical with the card, but it's fine. Wipe my card because I put my hands all over it, and the ink from the stamps, I hope I put them down nice and quickly and in one place, because otherwise you run the risk of getting smudges because I didn't clean them before I moved them, and perhaps I should have done. Anyway, let's see. So we want my bit of card back in, my little bit of platinum that I have left. So I'll try and be a bit careful of where I put it because I don't want it to go all over the card particularly. Perfect. And then pop what's left back in my pot. Get rid of that. And let's heat those. Let's just move my press out of the way. Oh, I've got a little bit up there that I can just see isn't heated up. It's always good to check. I know when I watch Marion's video, she always like holds it in the light and just checks that you haven't missed anything. Okay, so how beautiful does that look? And I am hoping that everything is okay and you can hear. I didn't even make sure you could hear me. What am I like? Okay, so I'm going to do pinks, and I don't think I need the yellow. I'm going to do different tones of pinks for my flowers. I'm not going to colour my heart in because that one is beautifully coloured and all ready to go. So I'll just colour the flowers and then I can cut those out. I had already coloured some and cut them out, but I noticed I'd done them in black ink instead of heat embossing them. So I like to do it with my clean colour, they're water based, so that I can come in with a paintbrush and just drag that colour out. They are so lovely to work with. So we'll have a pinky one. I just put a little bit of colour down in the centre of the petals and then take my water brush and just move that colour around. So you get a bit of a darker colour in the middle. You can go back in and add more colour if you want to. So any form of colouring medium that you like to use, whether you like doing with the ink pads like I'd like to as well, that's absolutely fine. Whatever you want to, but just pick nice colour combo and stick with those flowers for your heart and for your extra flowers. So these are going to decorate the outside of my card, and I'm going to use them with the With Love. I'm going to show you how to emboss the With Love. I'm going to do it with two colours. I'm going to do it with a bit of platinum, and I'm going to bring some polished silver into it as well. I just thought it'd be nice. We're going to have two-tone embossing. I just hope it will show up enough with the difference. With the platinum isn't too close to the silver. I think it will show, but it'll be a bit more subtle, I suppose. So that'd be rather nice. And I do apologise if you can hear those people out. I have a field at the behind the house, and I think they might have broken up from school today because they're all out there in the field, and I didn't shut the window because I'm hot, and they're all out there screeching, so I might have to shut the window, but I don't know if you can hear it, so it'd be good to know if you can, because then if you can't I can leave the window open. And I can't read the comments because the camera's quite high. Bear with me. No, I don't want that. Go back. Why won't it show me the comments? There they are. Right, that's better. No, I don't want that. Oops. Okay, so it'd be good if somebody can tell me if you can hear them. No, you can't hear them. Excellent, good. I will leave the window open because it is really muggy today. Had such a busy day today and done so much, but it was a good day. So I like having very productive and good days like that. So just going round, I like to pull a little bit of the colour, like I say, into the base, and by pulling that colour out it makes it almost a bit ombre, so you do get that darker bit in the centre of your flower. I didn't notice, I noticed that Brian was on. I didn't notice if Philippa was on. So, and if there's any questions, I will, obviously I always go back through and read everything afterwards, all the comments. So if there's any questions that I need to answer, that if I'm sure Philippa is watching, but then if there's anything, just leave me a question and I will come back to you. And like I said, if you're interested in purchasing the heart, I do love these flowers as well. They're so lovely. It just gives the set so much versatility when you get those extra stamps, that you can do different things with them. I'm going to do 2 orange ones. So yeah, so I do know that Hazel and Paul at Dragon's Papercraft have got it, and Luby Crafts. I do apologise because I decided what I was doing, and then when I looked, and it was like, oh, it's nearly sold out everywhere. So I am sorry to my other stockists, and I know one person I don't know that I checked actually, and I don't know if Joe from Let's Create is watching, but Joe, I don't know if you have it as well. I'm sure I would have checked. But if you do have it, please put a comment up if you're watching. Okay, so now I can go back in and I can add a bit deeper colour that I've got in the centre for the orange. So I'm happy with that. Clean my brush off. And then with my scissors, I am just very quickly, I'm going to cut these out, get rid of my heart because I don't need that one. I will keep that for another card, especially as it's so beautifully embossed. I always cut my individual flowers down in size before I start cutting them out, because it's much easier if you have a smaller piece of card to try and cut out from than the big piece. I know I've not been economical at all, so yeah, not a very good crafter, am I? Oh, I can see lots of comments, lots of questions going for Hazel. Sorry, Hazel. I hope you're watching, lovely. Okay, the comments are whizzing up, so I've missed it, so I will read them, like I say, at the end. I know that I'm not sure that Hazel. I don't think Hazel stocks the Zig, because I would have got mine from there otherwise. But Hazel does stock the Studio Light, the watercolour pens, which I also have, and I keep forgetting that I've got them. And I'm going to be honest, I'm trying to think think where they are. I think they must. Oh, I know what I did. I put them in a tin. I put them in an old distressed oxide tin, and I think I've left it all downstairs. So I will get them back out, because they're, again, beautiful watercolour pens, and there's some new colours as well. So really any water-based pens, so that you can use your water brush with them, are ideal. But you can use the ink pads like we usually do as well. Even if you buy a really cheap set of felt tip pens, like from the supermarket, if you have a dinner plate or something plastic that is non-porous, that's what I'm trying to say, and you can scribble out the felt tip pen onto there, even if it's a really bright, sort of vicious colour almost. Once you start using a water brush with them, you'll get lovely soft pastel colours from them. So even if your children have got some felt tips, or your grandchildren, honestly, that's how I started. I just used cheap felt tips to start with. Obviously, as you find what it is that you like to do, and colouring is what I like to do, it is nice to invest and have something a little bit better. And I have to say, I do love the Zig and the Studio Light ones that I've been using recently. And I will find where they are. The thing is, it's the Zig ones are out on my desk all the time. So it's so nice being able to stand up and demo. It really is. And I love how the desk goes up and down. It's brilliant. So if I want to sit down, if I'm doing, I don't know, some paperwork or whatever. I can sit down at it, and then you just push a button and up it goes. It's fab. So sorry about this, because I had cut the flowers out and I thought, oh, that'll save so much time. But when I look at them when they're black against the nice platinum embossing, there's no contest. So after I've done this, I'm going to stamp out my With Love, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the two-tone, I hope, embossing, and then we can put the card together. So we're almost, how pretty do they look though? Aren't they lovely? Just a few coloured in flowers. Can have so much fun with them. A little bit of glitter glue and a lovely sentiment. So I'm really pleased. I love the bold sentiments. I think they're so useful, and they make a real impact on your card as well. Well, I'm going to read some of the questions at the end. I'll whiz back through. Now, when you do colour things in, you need to be careful, because I know I've done it on this one. I've caught my fingers in the felt tip pen where it's still wet, because it's obviously gone on the embossing as well, but the embossing acts like a resist. But it'll probably be on my fingers. Yeah, look, got a nice orange thumb. So you just have to be careful that you don't smudge at all. A good tip is to go over with a dry piece of kitchen roll and just wipe them before you start cutting them out. Then any of the ink that's stuck to the embossing powder will come off, and you won't get it on your fingers, and you won't mess up your card. Okay, my good friend Hazel taught me that. Right, so I am going to do my embossing with my words. So let's put my flowers away and get my words out. Okay, so we're done with that one. And now we need the With Love. So I'm going to take that from my set. You get With Love, Best Wishes, an ampersand, and then it's I, you, and can't read that one. Always. So you can say I love you, love always, love and best wishes, with love and best wishes. What does this one say? Oh, that says sent. So you can say sent with love and best wishes. Okay, so I need, oh, probably haven't left enough piece of card even, because I cut it so, oh, I have. There you go. So I'm going to do my With Love, and I'm going to cut it out. So that's can you see that? I'm sorry. So I've got that in the bottom of my stamping press, and I'm going to pick that up. Going to wipe my piece of card, my anti-static bag. I'm going to make sure I've got a nice lot of ink on my words. Okay, and then we can stamp this out. Nice lot of even pressure over the words. Make sure you get those nicely done. And then, right, so this time, that's the silver, so I want a little bit, I should have done the words the same way around. So I'm going to have a little bit of platinum along the bottom, and that's up that way. So a little bit of platinum along the bottom of that one. Might want a little bit there. So happy with that. Just got part of the word with the platinum on, and now I'm going to go over the top of everything. So I'm just going to tip it straight over. Doesn't matter if it goes on top of the platinum. Bits might stick, if there's any of the letters exposed. Okay, so now the rest of it has got love, it's got silver on it. So the with love is completely covered. Whoops, let me just use my little brush. Let's move my platform out of the way and let's bring my heat tool back in. So again, just going to heat it up a little bit so it gets warm before I bring it to my words. And then I'm going to have that lovely polished silver at the top going into platinum. Oh, it's so, I don't know if it'll pick it up on the camera, it's very subtle, the change, but that looks fab. Okay, so it's just a thing to remember to do. Oh, it is picking it up. You can see the two different colours. How lovely is that? So you need to, when you heat emboss, you need to leave it just for a couple of minutes to cool down before you start cutting it out. So while we're waiting for that to cool down, I'm going to use my card and I'm going to take my heart that was already embossed, coloured and cut out, and I'm going to place that in the middle, use my glue, so some glue around the edge, nice lot in the middle, and I'm actually going to put it into the centre of my card with my card shut, because that way I know it's going to line up beautifully for the heart that I've cut out already, but it's going to be inside my card, just positioned perfectly. Okay, so while we're waiting for the... No, I'm going to cut my words out next. Let's put my lid on. So I'm going to cut out love. I'm going to leave a little border around the edge. I'm going to follow up the shape of the letters a little bit because I want you to see that. And it's really easy to do. If you don't want to cut it out, like following the shape, you can cut it out just as a square or an oblong. So all like in one word if you want to. But I just think it really adds lots of interest for not having to do too much. So the bigger the border you leave, the less fussy cutting you have to do. But just following the letters round. It's also quite good because it gets rid of, if you've got any specks of embossing powder, you're cutting them away. Okay, so let's cut that little bit out. And then we obviously need to cut in around the E. And then cut those two pieces out. So we've got our love, which is going to go on one side. And then we'll cut out with from the other side. Now with is like a really nice easy word to do because it's literally, you've got lots of nice straight edges. We'll cut into it here and just cut the middle of my H out. I will come up with the T and cut that little bit out just because I do really think it adds something to having those bits taken away. But like I say, it's entirely up to you. My computer is being really annoying and keeps going to sleep. I must have the setting, must change the setting on it. So the image just keeps disappearing. And I do use it now more so because the camera is higher. So to be able to see where I'm positioning stuff and making sure that you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I do need the computer a bit more. But like I say, this is the first one from here, so it's a learning curve. Things need to change things, so I'm going to have with love. So I'm going to attach them to the side of my card, but I want to add the flowers, but I'm going to add a little bit of shape to the petals, and I'm going to have an orange one down the bottom and an orange one up at the top, so opposite corners to my wording. You could do it the same corners as the wording if you wanted to, but I think I'll do opposites, or will I? Actually, I rather like it around the words. Yeah, let's have it around the words. Okay, so again, curling and shaping with the pink. You don't have to use all the flowers if you think you've done enough. I'm going to have 2 there, and I'm going to have these little 2 up with my orange flower, I think. Yep. So I might not use the other pink one. Okay, so let's get rid of all that rubbish. Oh, this is so nice. My back isn't hurting or anything. Okay, so it'd be interesting to know as well how it's been for you, whether it's been as good with it being just how I've demoed. Okay, so I'm going to place my width down, and I want to make sure I've got enough that's going to stick and be quite nice and solid on the front. And then we'll place our love over on the other side. So I'm just going to put glue on the E, and then I know that that bit is going to be on the front of the card. Okay, so my words are nice. Oh, I could put a little bit behind the V as well. Just stick that down. There we go. And then I'm going to put my flowers. You could use foam pads if you wanted to raise them up, add a bit of dimension. I'm going to tuck it just behind a little bit, overlap my letter just slightly. And the same, nice to have it overlapping the heart, the edge of the heart as well. Obviously you want to keep it inside the edge of the card because of going in the envelope. We'll have a little flower at the top there, and then I'm going to put this one just down the bottom there. No, I don't want that one. I'm quite happy with that. Okay, so put my lid on the glue, pop everything back that I don't need anymore. Put those away. Gosh, aren't I being tidy? So, a really nice gatefold card that has a lovely heart aperture with our With Love on the front, that's got that lovely heat embossing with the 2 different colours, and it was using my Floral heart stamp and my With Love and More stamp set. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it's inspired you. If you do want the stamp set, it's a lovely one to colour in. It really is. I have a couple more, like this one was done, and I have a beautiful blue one as well. So really lovely. You know, whatever colours you want to do it. If you've got a wedding card to make, which I have actually, I could do it in the colours that they've chosen for their wedding. So that would be a really nice way of doing it as well. Right, let me just, I'm going to flip the camera actually. So let me flip the camera and take that off because my phone lead was in. Okay, and let me just have a very quick look at my computer. So if you leave me a comment on here, I will do it the same as I did last week. So on Monday, I will announce the person who's won the stamps, both stamps and the card, and I'll send you the extra bits as well. So was there any questions? It's a lot brighter so I can see better. Oh, brilliant. That's great. The view is superb, clear. It's oh, fantastic. Good. I love how you cut out your words. Yeah, I really like doing it like that. Oh yes, the can't wait till you get the new polished gold and silver in super fine. Yes, please, Hazel. Put me a set by. Oh wow. Wow. Okay, so I definitely need super fine. Okay, I need to go back. I'll go and get a coffee and read all through the comments. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed that. I won't be back next Thursday with a Throwback Thursday because we have a new launch next Thursday. So something very exciting is coming next Thursday, and it's a special day next Thursday in more ways than one. And I'll let somebody else tell you why. Yes, so there won't be a Throwback Thursday next week, but there will be something else to come and watch. So I will see you all then. Look forward to that. Thank you ever so much for joining me. And yeah, see you Thursday, if not before. Okay, thanks, ladies. Bye.